celebration? Who is ready, y'all? Because I know I am ready. Lola, hey, y'all. Lori, I can't, okay, I'm seeing it now. Y'all, I'm so excited to be chatting with you today. We are going to talk about the future of fundraising events, how to raise more and stress less in 2023. Now, if you want to stress less in 2023, let me know in the chat, because let me tell you, okay, the energy that I am coming with in 2023, y'all, I am not trying to be stressed. I'm not trying to be anxious. I want to just ease into what is meant for me, okay? Ease into what is meant for me. And I hope y'all are ready to ease into what is meant for you as well, okay? So y'all, we are going to talk about all things future of fundraising events. As you know, I am the host who does the most, okay? I am Floyd. I'm the Director of Community and Partnerships. I am based here in New York, okay? I've worked with small organizations my entire career, and I love working with grassroots organizations. Y'all, this is my LinkedIn. We're going to drop it somewhere, but one of the things that we want y'all to do, okay? I know some of y'all already do this, but if you love something from today, if you loved a quote, if you loved a tip, I want you to let me know. Let me and Givebutter know on LinkedIn. Chat back with us. We're going to chat with you. We're going to share, and we got a couple surprises for you later on if you do, but I'll let you know towards the end, okay? But remember, if you like something from today's session, I know people in here do it, okay? But I want you to let us know on LinkedIn. Tag Givebutter, tag me, and let us know, and let's spread the butter, okay? Y'all, all right, you know that y'all know the rules. I'm sure at this point y'all could probably tell me the housekeeping rules, but we're gonna just go through them, okay? Amigo said, Floyd, can you come back from money? I'm coming to Denver. I'm gonna let you know when I get to Denver, okay? I'm gonna chat with you. But y'all, the recording and slides will be emailed to you after the webinar, okay? Please use the Q&A, okay? We're gonna have a lot of questions today. I'm trying to go quick because we're gonna have a lot of information, okay? My intention today is not just to give you examples, not just to give you facts and figures, but to give you actual tips that you can put into practice, okay? We're gonna have an actual education session today, all right? And so I want y'all to know, use the Q&A so I don't miss them, okay? Comment. You already know that I like to talk back to you, okay? Comment to me. I'm gonna comment to you, but make sure you put it in the chat. Use some emojis. Be respectful and kind in the chat. And then also, y'all, if you are in the Facebook fam, okay, if you're in the Givebutter fam, I want to see I'm in the chat. I'm already seeing a bunch of y'all in here. I already know y'all faces and names. I'm seeing you, but make sure you put I'm in if you're in the Facebook fam in the chat, because y'all, it is going down in the Facebook fam. And did you know once a month we give donations to nonprofits who are only in the Givebutter fam, okay? So if you're not in, Grace is gonna drop it in the chat, but make sure y'all know, okay? Facebook fam is where it goes down, okay? We did our welcome and intros. We're going to go over some important announcements and updates really quick. We're going to dive into the future of fundraising events, do a lot of Q&A, and some reminders and a wrap up, okay? So here are some really important updates. Have y'all heard that we now let you import transactions? Y'all, tens of thousands of transactions have already been imported into our system, but you already know this, but we do way more than just fundraising, okay? Y'all, we are a CRM, we are an email and messaging platform all in one, and now we are allowing you to import your offline transactions in bulk into the platform, okay? So when you get these slides, make sure you go through those steps so you can start putting your donation information into Givebutter. Did y'all hear it first? Can you say DAF? What y'all know about that, okay? Donor advised funds, y'all. We are the first in the industry, the first in the sector to allow you to accept DAF donations directly on the platform, okay? If you can say DAF, say DAF 3 times fast, y'all. That is what is in store for you, okay? Donor advised funds, let them come on over and advise you on something, okay? But here we go. We're accepting the donor advised funds directly on the platform. And next, so George, you said DAF 3 times fast. See, you already know. Come on, George, you already got it. Y'all, have you heard the news? We have a new app, okay? If you go to the App Store, you're going to get more than apples up in there, okay? Y'all can see the Givebutter app directly in the App Store. And a lot of you, I already see your names. A lot of you guys here. Brenda, see, we love the app too. Thank you, Deborah. Brenda, all you have to do is download the Givebutter app. You can now collect payments in person because we also have a companion card reader. You can actually see your donations in real time. You can actually see the progress of your campaigns in real time. No more, we're talking all about events today, so no more stressing out, going back and forth. It can all take place directly in the app. So make sure you go to the App Store. We're both on Android and iPhone, okay? We're inclusive here, okay? Make sure you go and download the app today. Have you guys heard the news? You know what? This just hit me. I think I'm gonna record some of these infomercials because y'all, we got a couple of things. So I'm gonna record some of these in the future for y'all. But have you guys heard the news? We are now the co-sponsors and the title sponsors of the Nonprofit Marketing Summit, y'all. This is not a drill, okay? If y'all like these webinars, think about 3 action-packed days of information, amazing speakers, amazing giveaways, amazing give back opportunities. All the things that you could think of are going to be taking place at the Big Innovation. See, come on, Kelly, you get it. This year's theme is the Big Innovation, y'all. 2023, all types of things are new, but we are going to be here to get you guys on the cutting edge, and you're going to join me and a 60 plus other speakers at the Big Innovation, y'all, and I'm giving my first keynote speech. This is gonna be huge. So I hope the Givebutter fam is in the audience to cheer me on, but let me tell you guys, it's gonna be so great. And today, you guys can download, you guys can go and register there. Hold on, let me see, let me get back to where we was at. Hold on. Let me get back. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Let me know in the chat. Can y'all see my screen? Yes, Vanessa. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we are giving away 10 VIP passes today, y'all. Okay, but the stipulation was that you had to be here live, okay? So if you're here live, I'm gonna say your name, but we're gonna give away 10 VIP sessions today to the conference. That means you get to have all the recordings, you get to have all the session notes, you get to have all the slides. So let's go through it now. Who's ready? Who's ready? Oh, a lot of y'all ready. Okay, come on, y'all. All right, the first person is Amanda Whalen from Habitat for Humanity of the Upper Keys. Is Amanda here? Is Amanda here? I hope you hear, because I actually cannot tell by looking at the chat. Amanda, all right. Amanda Keys from Habitat, Amanda Whalen from Habitat Humanity of the Upper Keys. Next is Bob Martin from Veterans Care Charity. And y'all, don't worry, we are gonna send you an email, okay, afterwards. But I wanna see if y'all are here. Let me know in the chat. Bob Martin from Veterans Care Charity. Okay, Brianna Anderson from Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southwestern Illinois. And y'all, this really is random. I'm getting these names in real time, so trust me when I tell you. Brianna Anderson from Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southwestern Illinois. Next is Darcy DePlacido. Come on now, I like that. Darcy from Heart of Michigan Bernese Mountain Dog Rescue. Darcy, if you're here, let me know in the chat. And then lastly is Floyd Montero from Afro Resistance. It's Floyd Montero from Afro Resistance in the house. Let me know in the chat, y'all. Okay, we have the best community. Kim said, floor. I love it. All right, y'all. Well, we are going to shoot you guys an email at the end. That was just 5. Don't worry. That means you're going to stick around to the end. Okay, somebody? Stick around to the end, and we're going to let you guys know who the rest of the winners are. Okay? All right, y'all. Let's get into some of this details. I'm going to launch our first poll. Okay? So on a scale of 1 to 4, how do you feel about planning fundraising events? You sipping pina coladas on the beach because you already know you got this. 2, it's not my favorite, but I'm gonna rock it anyway. 1, I'm crying. I'm not crying. No, you're crying. Okay, I'm actually crying because this event is stressing me out. And then 4, I'm currently on fire and stressed. Where do you fit in that spectrum, y'all? I want to know on a scale of 1 to 4, where do you fit on this spectrum? Let's see it in the chat, y'all. Okay, we got a nice little distribution. Let's do 5 more seconds, y'all. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, let's see where we at. Okay, so we have some 2s and 3s. We have some 2s and 3s, y'all, and that's good. That's a good place to be. Some of y'all are not my favorite, but I'm gonna rock it. I'm not crying, but I'm not crying. You're crying. Okay, I'm crying, but hopefully we're gonna stop the tears at the end of this session. I want to see in the chat, what are some of your concerns when organizing your fundraising events? What are some of the things that kind of going through your head? And why am I asking that? Because we're going to talk about it at the end. So Erica says ROI. Yep. Emma says attendance, getting sponsors, sponsorships, filling those seats, attendance, turnout, sponsorship. See, let me see, event burnout. Come on, somebody. Getting partnerships, attendance. I'm with you, y'all. I have been there and some. Okay, did you guys keep putting them in the chat, y'all? So did you guys know that 70% of nonprofits plan to include some kind of virtual elements in their fundraising moving forward? The pandemic upended a lot of things, but they're thinking about how are we gonna infuse this, okay? And one of the things I also know is that 56% of donors attend fundraising events regularly, okay? So even though we feel like these events are stressful, we are realizing that a majority of donors are still attending. A majority of donors are still coming, okay? So let me tell you my fundraising event story, okay? Y'all, story time, y'all know me, okay? So this was actually, fun fact, the first fundraising event that I planned outside of college. Look at me, it's a young, fresh Floyd. I still got it. You know, I'm sitting in front of the sun today, but this was me, novice Floyd, jumping right out into the field. And I was so excited, but I was also so incredibly nervous, okay? One of the things that I realized was that people love a story. Right? This was the organization's 15th year anniversary. And I was actually the first full-time development hire for the organization. So I jumped in, I said, listen, we got an anniversary and I'm on the scene. Come on, that's a double whammy, y'all. And we ended up getting so many people to come out. We were a youth-serving organization, so we had youth sharing their stories, singing songs, sharing poetry, and so much more. And y'all, guess how much we raised? It was our 15th year anniversary, and our goal was to raise $15,000 that night. But let me tell you, y'all, we didn't raise $15,000, okay? Drum roll, please. We ended up raising over $30,000 in one night, y'all. One night. That's the power of an event, y'all. The energy is in the room. The power is in the room. The magic is in the room. People were so excited, y'all. And we ended up raising that money. And let me tell you, at the end of that day, I sat down, I said, we did that, okay? But then the next year came. Okay. And we were so excited, but we realized we weren't going to be able to pull off the same event. See, that year we ended up getting the space donated. We ended up getting amazing sponsors. We ended up getting a lot of people to come in and donate at the last minute. We got a lot of pledges and whatnot, but we weren't able to maintain that momentum into the next year. Okay. So we ended up canceling the event. Okay. But not only did we cancel the event, we ended up slowing down even more fundraising momentum. And we actually didn't even reach our fundraising goals in that second year. And I learned an incredibly valuable lesson in that scenario, okay? A story or a theme will spark your community, but structure and support will sustain your community. Okay. One of the most important things that I realized in organizing events and organizing fundraising campaigns, okay, is that you can get the people in the door, right? But the real work happens behind the scenes. The real work happens when the event is over. It's not about just inviting people in. It's about cultivating your donors. You don't want to just have a one-time experience, because that is what leads to burnout, right? You're not trying to go for the big blam splash. You're going for sustainability. And an event can do that, right? An event can actually be the gateway to bring new people in, secure new donors, secure major donors, right? But if you don't have the infrastructure, then that stress wheel is just going to keep on turning. And my hope and my intention, y'all, is that you can take away a few takeaways today so you can not run into the same trap that I did, but be able to sustain the momentum that you got, okay? Another thing that I wanted to say is this is all about, again, how to raise more and stress less through fundraising events. So here are some of the top things that people spend their money on for an event. A lot of y'all said ROI, and I'm with you, y'all. The same thing happened to us, right? We had to cancel our event because we couldn't maintain and have the same ROI that we had 2 years in a row. But a lot of people are spending money on food and beverage expenses, Oh, someone said we raised 9. Okay, Holly, we're gonna have to come up and get you on this call, y'all. Food and beverage expenses, facility rentals, programming costs, staffing, right? And now we're getting ready to go back into in-person events, and people are worried that these budget and that their budgets and the event costs are going to continue to rise. Okay, so what is one quick thing that you guys can do to start turning the momentum on this? Well, actually, we believe that virtual and hybrid events are going to still be a thing into 2023. If you're planning a virtual or a hybrid event, I want to see it in the chat. But let me tell you guys, why is a virtual or a hybrid event going to be actually successful for you? Well, you can save money, obviously, you can reach more people, and you can maximize your time. Okay, so the first organization that I want to show you guys is the Hope Booth. We love the Hope Booth. They were actually one of our Giving Tuesday winners of last year, but their concept is so amazing, and Grace is going to drop the campaign in the chat if you guys are interested in checking it out. But they are a nonprofit that leverages the power of art and technology, and they actually place Hope booths, real physical booths, in places all across the country. People can go in and actually get an amazing story, get something engaging, and get an ounce of hope. So I'm going to share a little bit more about how they organize their telethon that end up raising over $97,000.
So this past Giving Tuesday, we decided to do something super unique and super incredible by pulling off a 12-hour telethon called HopeAthon. The reason why we did this is because we didn't want to just do a simple or cliche campaign where we just create a campaign and encourage people to support us. No, we wanted to do what we have been doing for the past year, which is spreading the word of hope and providing help. And so what we did was reach out to individuals that we know and people who have been supporting us throughout this journey to invite them in this process and allow them to be part of HopeAthon. We had about over 20 guests that shared their story, shared a song that provided hope or that helped them to get back to the hope that they once lost, do a spoken word piece. We also streamed our documentary called Until All Are Seen, which documents the Hope tour that we went on last March, where we brought our Hope prototype around the US for people to try out and to receive hope. And so it was such an amazing time. We had a goal for that day to raise $50,000, and we were able to reach that goal and surpass it. So how we engaged our community for this event. We were able to rally up our supporters on Instagram, rally up our email based supporters, and let them know about what we're doing and invite them to the process. We were able to reach out to about 20 individuals and invite them into this process. We wanted them, like I said, we didn't want to just do just a simple regular campaign for Giving Tuesday. We wanted to be able to engage our audience and our community and to bring on a new set of, a new audience and a new community. And so what we did was we had these 20 individuals share their stories on this stream, share their stories, share a song that they wrote that involved, receiving hope, share a spoken word piece that inspires people to receive hope or uplifts people and provides a positive impact to individuals. We had people do just a bunch of different unique things that would not only help people, but also provide the hope that people needed on that day. And so we did that for 12 hours straight on Giving Tuesday, and it was such an incredible time.
All right, y'all. So I want to see what you guys got. What were some of the main takeaways that you guys got from that theme and from that video? And I'm going to go ahead and share some as well. Remember, we in this together, y'all, okay? Holly going to share her tips. Y'all going to share some tips. We're going to go on this together. Storytelling, exactly. That's Amy. Amy said storytelling. That's actually one of my top things right away. What is your theme? Right? What are the things that people are going to rally around? So for the Hope booth, it was hope, obviously, and people sharing their stories of hope. But what is your theme? Brand your page, use Canva. As you guys already know by now, we integrate directly with Canva. Design something and put that design directly on your page to continue to tell that story. What is your fundraising goal? Add to your progress bar. Did you guys know that people are 35% more likely to donate more to your campaign when you have a progress bar on the page, right? If you have a progress bar and they can actually see the impact that they're going to be able to go give in action, they're more likely to donate even more. So add to your progress bar and showcase your sponsors. Also, what is your distribution method, y'all? Are you going to use Zoom? Are you going to use Facebook? Are you going to use LinkedIn? Are you going to use YouTube? You can connect all these, virtual platforms directly onto our Givebutter campaign page, but you have to know, and I always say, y'all, use what works best for you, okay? Just because you see another campaign using Twitch doesn't mean you have to use Twitch. Just because you see another campaign using YouTube doesn't mean you have to use YouTube. Use what works best for you, okay? And all you have to do is when it works best for you, then you can stand in that confidence. And when you stand in that confidence, you spark that confidence from your donors, okay? And your donors can contribute accordingly. Also, who can you include? A lot of people are saying, a lot of people kept in mind, hey, they brought people in. And that was one of the things that stuck out to me the most. Who can you include? So HopeAThon, they brought in speakers, they brought in performers, they brought in artists, they brought in other members of their community. But I want to know, who can you include in your community and have them be a part of what you're doing, right? Maybe it's not a performer, maybe it's a volunteer, maybe it's a constituent, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's somebody who's on your staff or on your board. It doesn't matter, but I promise you, you're going to go further when you come together. Y'all already know by now my saying, if you want to go far, go together, okay? If you want to go fast, that's fine. Can go alone. But we are in the game to go far and sustain what we are doing, okay? So who can you include? Who can you bring along with you? And that actually opens and leads me to our next thing, which is call on your community with peer-to-peer. Okay, so 39% of Americans say they've donated to charity based on a request from a friend or family member. Y'all, a lot of you guys said you're worried about attendance and you're worried about people showing up. Well, back in the day, we had a little thing called table captains, okay? We had a good table captain to have people invite other people in. And y'all, I want you to do the same exact thing. Keep the table captain mentality, but now bring it digital and upgrade it to digital, okay? Don't fundraise by yourself. I always say, fundraising is a team sport, y'all. Fundraising is a team sport. So many times we as fundraisers get burnt out and broke down because we think that we have to do it all by ourselves. We're calling everybody we know, we're emailing our database, we're posting flyers, we're social mediating, we're sending out emails, we're doing it all, okay? And yes, but you can do all those different things, but you're gonna hit a ceiling, okay? So bring other people on. And I always say it starts with your goal, okay? So another, Team Tix is one organization that we absolutely love, okay? Their goal was to raise $40,000 and they ended up raising over $44,000 by bringing in over 182 supporters, okay? One of the things that I absolutely love is they turned their gala and they made it a hybrid event. They had the same, and I'll show you what their campaign looks like, but as you guys can see here, look at all their team members, right? They brought in all their team members and each of their team members was instructed to raise a certain amount by inviting a certain amount of people, right? They all reached out and said, hey, 10 of us, if you guys can all reach 10 different people, do that. But a lot of times we're wondering to ourselves, how do we actually rally our ambassadors? I don't want this to be another session where we're saying, call on your ambassadors, call on your ambassadors. Some people are asking, okay, well, how do I actually find my ambassadors? So what I always say is you have to have the 3 A's, okay? Attendance, attention, and attitude, all right? Attendance. So do these people actually show up to your programs? Have they shown up to past events? Have they shown up to fundraisers before? A good way of asking yourself, is this person, can this be a good ambassador? Is what is their attendance actually looking like? And are they actually showing up? 2 is attention. Do they open up your emails? Do they respond to you on social media? Do they actually engage with you when you ask people to come and engage on a deeper level? That's a great way of figuring out, hey, I have this person's attention. I'm going to add them to my list as a potential ambassador for my next campaign. And then 3 is attitude. Are they pleasant to be around? Do you enjoy actually working with them? Because a good sign is if someone's a good person, they have good energy, they probably are connected to other people who have good energy as well, and you can bring those people along. Another thing that I always say is keep a database. I'm always keeping a list. In my mind, I always have a list of Who can I invite for my next to be my next ambassador? Who can I bring on? Because what do I always say, y'all? We need to be bridge builders. A lot of times we're raking our brains, asking ourselves, how can we find ambassadors? How can we find people? But a lot of times your best people are right in front of you. They are right in your community, but we are just not looking. People are asking to be involved. They're asking to help. And it is our job as community builders, our jobs as the next change makers to bring them alongside with us. Also, give them a concrete goal, y'all. One thing I always say is let them know exactly what they're supposed to do. People are busy, okay? People are busy and they want to help, but you need to make it straightforward and seamless for them. So give them a concrete goal, give them a toolkit with sample language, with sample pictures, with sample social media posts, with sample emails in there. Make it as easy as possible. And we have a couple of toolkit guides in our blog that we can respond and share with you guys as well. Okay, and make it engaging. You already know my comment on the supporter feed, y'all, but use the supporter feed to your advantage. Comment on their posts, message them, acknowledge them in real time, because people are going to feel good. And when they feel good, they're more apt to continue bringing other people along. Because if you feel good, if you have a good secret and you went to a party and an event, what are you going to do? You're going to share that with your neighbor. You're going to share that with your friend. You're going to share that with your colleague and whatnot. And you want to make sure you bring other people along. So make them feel good right away. How's this, y'all? Are y'all catching what I'm putting down, y'all? I want to see it in the chat. Are you here? Projects are like, Adriana said, projects are like a canoe. You need rowers, not steerers. Come on, somebody. I love that. George says, Yahoo, I love that, y'all. I want to make sure you're getting the takeaways, because this is so, so important. So this next one, we're going to spend a little bit more time on, y'all. Power up your partners. How many people want to sponsor in 2023? I want to see how many of y'all want a sponsor in 2023. Me, Jamie's saying me, Amber's saying me, Heather's saying I do, Vanessa. Listen, we all want sponsorships, okay? But one of the things that I always say, a sponsor, we need to, what did we say in our little tidbit in our snackables last time around, y'all? No sponsors. These are now your partners. They are walking side by side. Come on, Pam, you already know it. Corporate partnerships. Come on, somebody. Corporations give on average of $21 billion with a B every year. $21 billion every year with a B, y'all, okay? And they want to give. Now that I am standing on the other side of the coin and I'm looking for organizations that we can partner with, we want to give. We want to support. We want to work with you. But you have to make yourself sponsorable, right? And we're going to talk about how to do that, okay? Call on your corporate partners and you can receive more donations, both monetary and in-kind donations. You also can mobilize their volunteers, right? When you think about partnerships, you have to think about it from a long game perspective, not just, can you snap your fingers and write me a check? We ain't doing that in 2023. No, you want people who can stand by you and support you for the long haul, okay? And here, we're gonna talk about how to do that. So the organization that I want to highlight for corporate partnerships is Junkyard Social, y'all. I loved Junkyard Social because they actually did an auction. Y'all, if y'all haven't checked out Givebutter auctions, you are missing out. But they did an amazing auction on our platform. And so the Junkyard Social Club is a low or no cost venue for artists, culture keepers, change makers, and educators who use our platform to wreak positive havoc on the system. So y'all, they ended up selling over 38 individual items on the platform and raising over $12,000 from 52 supporters. And guess what? A majority of those items were given by corporate partners. So one of the things that we're going to go into some of my top tips, but I have a surprise for you guys. One of our favorite partners, the Shareway, they actually created an entire unique platform, okay, for you to get donation items easily, okay? So I actually asked the Shareway CEO to come on live, share a little bit more about the Shareway, and we're gonna give you all a specific discount so you guys can get donation and auction items from corporations like Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, and so many more. Y'all wanna hear it? I'm gonna go ahead and press play.
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah Yang, co-founder and CEO of the Shareway. Our mission is to create a world where simple goods can make a huge impact. We do this by connecting nonprofits and schools to food and auction item donors. Over 20,000 nonprofits and schools all across the US have used the Shareway to secure in-kind donations. They include Habitat for Humanity, the Salvation Army, Cornell University, and thousands of PTAs and PTOs all across the US. So how does it work? You simply go to theshareway.com, create an event with your event date, your location, and the products that you're interested in. We then show you a list of businesses that donate the products you want in your city with their application links easily accessible, their application deadline, and their approval and response rates. On average, our users save about 20 plus hours per event and secure about $2,000 in donation values per event. Say goodbye to going door to door to solicit donations from businesses, which is so frustrating. I have done it myself before. As a Givebutter partner, we love to offer you a discount. Get 15% off of our paid products by using code Givebutter2023. That is Givebutter2023. We're so excited to share this with you today and hope that you check us out. My 3 tips for success are: 1, ask for auction item donations everywhere. More people donate than you think would. 75% of small businesses and 94% of restaurants donate to charity. 2, start asking for in-kind donations at least 2 months before your event date. 50% of companies' donation request applications are due 6 weeks or more before the event date. 3, follow up. I used to solicit donations for my nonprofit, and 45% of the sponsors said yes after the first and second follow-up.
All right, y'all. I want to see in the chat, what were some of your biggest takeaways from what Hannah shared? So the reason why I loved Hannah's top tips, and also y'all, make sure you take advantage of that discount, y'all, because we want to see y'all succeed in 2023. Brenda said follow up. Melissa said time saver, follow up. I love that. Dia said reach out at least 2 months in advance. Come on, somebody. When she said that, I said, come on. Tracy said timeline is key. Ask early. Deborah said ask everywhere. I love that. One of my biggest takeaways was when Hannah said over 75% of businesses give. A lot of times we're thinking about the big name companies and corporations. And trust me, I have been so blessed to be able, when I was working in nonprofits, to be able to get sponsorships from Nike and NBA 2K. I got NBA 2K to renovate basketball courts. I was able to get our nonprofit's name at every single Whole Foods cash register, and we were able to get donations that way. It takes time. But one of the biggest things that I realized was that the majority of funding, yes, we love the big names. They're great for social media, et cetera, but a majority of our funding came from smaller businesses giving $5,000 here, $10,000 here, $1,000 here, right? And one of the big things that I realized is that you can't forget the little guys. Ask everyone and ask everywhere, okay? Ask everyone and ask everywhere. Remember, we talk about inclusivity all the time, but inclusivity is not just about your constituents and the people that you serve or your volunteers. It's also about your donors, okay? Don't forsake the little guy. We talk about philanthropy and we talk about making sure we're bringing every single person in. Your small mom and pop shop, you might not know. They might have a specific fund just to donate to nonprofits, right? And you're missing out because you're trying to tackle what everybody else is trying to tackle. You know what I mean? Ask everyone and ask everywhere, because what your goal is to do is find people who want to help you accomplish your mission, whether they're big, whether they're small, whether they're medium, whether they're tall, it don't matter. If they are trying to help you accomplish your mission, invite them in. Okay, bring them in, because what did I say at the beginning? If you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, say it with me now, go together. Okay, make it easy for your partners to give back. So corporate giving option on your donation form, right? We connect directly with Double the Donation. We talk about this all the time, but make sure you enable it. Enable the option for people to be able to give, okay? And make it super easy and seamless and put it directly on your form. Child, you don't know how many times I've seen people say, okay, we want your company to make a donation, and then I gotta go to this form, and then I gotta go fill out this, and then the ankle bone's connected to the finger bone. It's too many steps. It is too many steps. If people want to serve, again, we're bridge builders now, make it easy for them to get involved. Okay. Also, another very easy and simple way for them to get involved as a first step is through auction items, especially a lot of local mom and pop businesses who have products that they want to showcase. It's not just a handout. You're also giving them exposure. You're giving them brand awareness. You also have a community, so don't count yourself out. You're opening up their eyeballs to other and new constituents. Okay. So make sure you're asking them for auction items. Also provide multiple payment methods. We now have DAF donations, Venmo, PayPal, and give recognition, okay? One of the biggest things that I always did was whenever I was working with a company or a corporate partner, they were also invited to all my general donor thank you events. I sent them our follow-up reports. They got thank you cards, and I scheduled lunch and learns with them so they can actually see in action what was going on. But the biggest way to get sponsors involved is invite them to your programs in action. Now, we were lucky we had a youth serving organization, so we could invite them to be volunteers on the field and whatnot. But if you don't have the same thing, figure out a way that you can make it tangible for your funders and make it tangible for your corporate partners, so that they can actually see the impact of their dollar. They can see the impact of their donation. And I promise you, when they see it in action, when they see what they are doing, they're more apt to get involved over and over and over and over again. Okay? And then the last thing that I want to say, y'all, is move to mobile. This is the last tip, and then we can get into some Q&A. I see a lot of you guys sending in questions as well. If you have questions about sponsorships, let's get into it, okay? Put it in the Q&A chat. So move to mobile. So 25% of donors are making their donations on mobile devices, okay? And that number, that was from 2020. That number is increasing more and more and more and more, okay? Mobile friendliness is the way to go. Make sure your website is optimized for mobile. The next time, let me tell you, y'all, the next time I have to go like this and I got to open up the screen and try to stretch and move my finger, all of that is friction. What did I say? We are bridge builders. Your goal is to take a person from point A to point B, and point B is the change you want to see in the world, okay? If your organization is the direct opportunity for them to make an impact and make a change, make it easy for them, okay? Make sure your page is optimized for mobile. And then donors are consumers, and they're used to paying on their phones. Now that I live in New York City, let me tell you, every time I use that subway, I am tapping my phone. I'm not pulling out no subway card. I'm tapping my phone, okay? So make sure you're actively engaging and using all the resources that we have available to you. So another organization that I want to call out is Shun Pike, and I love this organization. And I specifically called them out because they're a newer organization. As you can see, they only raised over $1,000, but one of the things that I absolutely love is that they raise this amount in person using our mobile app and our card reader. And they did it all in real time. It was so wonderful to see. We were like, they raised over $1,000 in under 30 minutes, y'all. Under 30 minutes. So big, small, I don't care, y'all. I want to see that action taking place. And that is exactly what they did. So they made it very easy for their supporters to get involved. They had lots of different raffles taking place, but they also utilized things like text to donate. As you guys know, our platform enables you to use text to donate. If you're in Engage, you can make that happen. They activated QR codes, and they used the card reader for in-person donations. And like I said, y'all, they were able to collect over $1,000 in under 30 minutes. It was so awesome to witness. But what are you doing? How are you making it easy on your donors, right? When you're having your virtual or your hybrid event this year, make sure it's not a clunky experience. If someone is going to go make a bid on something, make sure your card reader is available on site for them to swipe their card and keep it moving, right? You don't want them to go back to the front, write down a check, it's too much. Back in the day when I was organizing that event I told you guys in the beginning, we were collecting pledges, okay? So I was going around trying to collect the paddle in real time. Little old me was all types of confused, okay? But we have an ability for you to bring your giving into the modern, bring it into the here, bring it into the now. And that is what we give you the ability to do on the platform. So I want to know, which one of these are you going to try to use for your hybrid event coming up? Are you going to use text to donate? Are you going to use a QR code? Are you going to use our card reader? I want to see it in the chat, like real time. Who's going to do text to donate? Zachary's going to use text to donate. All three, come on, Rayleigh, you going to get something. QR codes, I love it. Everything, I love it. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Utilize everything at your disposal so you can make sure you're making the biggest impact, okay? That was a lot. Y'all ready for some Q&A? Well, before we get to the Q&A, guys, I want to say we are going to give away, let's do it, 5 more VIP tickets. Why are we giving away even more VIP tickets? Because I want you guys to take this information and I want you to put it into action, okay? I want you to put it into action, and the best place to do this is at the Nonprofit Marketing Summit, where you can learn even more. All right, 5 more people. Let's do this thing. All right, we have Inanna from Planting Justice. Inanna from Planting Justice. We have Priya from Bye Bye Plastic USA. Bye Bye Plastic USA. Priya, if it's Priya in the house. We have Dawn from the World Movers Project. I love that. Dawn from the World Movers Project. We have Zachary from Stepping Stones. Zachary from Stepping Stones. And then lastly, we have Sue from Autism Up. Sue from Autism Up. If you're in the house, let me know. But y'all, I have one more secret. I promise you guys, we have more VIP tickets to give away, and we're gonna give them away. And the way that you can potentially win one is if you post your main takeaway from either me or one of the other engaging speakers that you heard from today. Post your main takeaway on LinkedIn and tag Floyd, tag Givebutter. We're gonna share, we're gonna comment and whatnot, and we're gonna be choosing one of y'all. Actually, we'll probably choose more than one, let's be honest. We'll probably choose 5 of y'all to give you a VIP ticket, okay? All right, y'all, we got 15 minutes left. Let's get into some of this Q&A. Come on, go far, go together, go fast, go alone. Kia, you onto something. Post that one quick. I love it. Post it on LinkedIn, y'all, and make sure you tag Floyd and Givebutter. All right, let's get into some of this Q&A. Okay, Holly, if I could call you up, I'd call you up here right now because we gotta hear how you raised all those funds. So Holly asks, how do people incorporate peer-to-peer with in-person events? We did peer-to-peer during the pandemic and it was wildly successful, but hasn't been great since. Great question, Holly. So I absolutely love peer-to-peer. I think it is a way of the future for virtual or in-person events or hybrid events. So I want to showcase, the Teen Tix event that we just talked about. They really took that, table captain model and they mobilized their top ambassadors, like we talked about. Remember, audience, attention, and attitude, right? Figuring out who your ambassadors are is going to be key. And it is completely okay if your peer-to-peer program grows over time. Give it the space to grow over time, right? Maybe your first year, you're not raising that much. Remember, my first peer-to-peer campaign, I thought we were going to raise $5. We ended up raising $10,000, but that peer-to-peer program now is raising over 6 figures annually for that organization, okay? But it has to start small. Start by planting the seeds. So maybe you set a goal this year of we're going to have 25 ambassadors and we're going to mobilize 25 of our top ambassadors and we're going to bring them in. We're going to give them everything they need and we're going to encourage them and even set a small goal, right? Say, try to, get $50 from 5 different people, right? You know that peer-to-peer won't be the bulk of your donation, but at least start somewhere and allow it to grow. And when those people succeed, reward them and invite more people in. Figure out what worked well and replicate that again for your next campaign, okay? I hope that helped. If you have more questions, definitely let me know. Okay, Pam says, if our progress, Holly, hey. Pam says, if our progress bar goal is too high, does that demotivate donors? We have a big fundraising goal for this year, but we don't want to discourage our 5 to $10 donors because our bar goal is too high. What do you think? Love that question, Pam. So it is like psychology, essentially, right? I always tell organizations that I'm working with directly, make the progress bar visible and set it to be something that is a SMART goal, right? So specific, measurable, attainable, but we're going to emphasize the R, which is realistic, okay? You want it to stretch you, obviously, and you want it to stretch your organization, but my biggest pet peeve is when a brand new organization who's never run a peer-to-peer campaign or never run a fundraising campaign, don't make your goal $100,000. I believe that for you, and you know me, name it and claim it, right? You got to speak what you want to see, but don't set yourself up for failure, right? Give yourself space, right? So maybe instead of $100,000, maybe you're doing $20,000, okay? And every goal needs to come with a guide. Okay, every goal needs to come with a plan, right? So I never say $20,000 flippantly. No, I'm going to say my goal is $20,000 and I'm going to try to mobilize at least 100 ambassadors to get people to give $20 each, right? And if I say 100 ambassadors is my goal, I'm going to aim for 150 because not everyone is going to sign up. All right. So yes, make your goal something that's going to stretch you, but make sure it's realistic and make sure every realistic goal has a real plan behind it. Okay. Terry says, what about having a fundraising event with your main fundraiser? Why not? What about it? Do it. I love it. I always think the more the merrier, to be honest, but make sure you have one CTA. So one of the things that we did when I was working with this organization was we had an entire campaign, okay? And the campaign was like 2 months long. And we were trying to raise, I don't know, maybe $50,000 or $60,000. And throughout the campaign, we started with the fundraising campaign. And then we invited people and said, save the date, right? And we knew that it's going to start with the fundraising campaign, but we're going to also have an event with cocktails where you can donate in person. And then we're going to have a showcase that showcases our students and our youth. And then we're going to culminate it with the end of year gift, right? So you can have multiple things, but I always would say, make sure it's all under the umbrella of one guided brand, okay? Is this good? Y'all liking? Okay, good. Y'all liking this? Make sure y'all with me, okay? Jamie says, I'd love to learn more about incorporating a card reader to Givebutter. I need help on sourcing orgs and donors for my volunteers to reach out to, like the Shareway. So one, sign up for the Shareway. I absolutely love the Shareway, and I love what they're doing. Grace can drop. They're a free platform, by the way. You don't have to pay for anything on the Shareway. You pay if you want to get like a certain amount of more perks, but the Shareway in and of itself is free, which is another reason why we partner with them. But they have some of the best companies and corporations are using the Shareway to make real donations to nonprofits. So make sure you go with them so you can source those companies in and of itself. That's one. Two, card reader, best way to do it is when you're having an on-site event. I absolutely love it because it's a great way to collect donations in real time. So say you're selling tickets and people want to buy tickets at the door and they're like, okay, well, I didn't buy my ticket in advance. No problem. No, now people can't say, oh, I only have card or I don't got cash. That's fine. We take it all. Here's my card reader and you can swipe it in real time, right? Another thing, I need help on sourcing orgs and donors. I would say don't make it all about you. Don't put it all on your own shoulders as well, right? Ask your donors. So one of the things that I always did, okay, every single time I asked for someone to be a volunteer, guess what I asked? What company do you work for? If they didn't work for no company, that's completely fine. But I always ask, what company do you work for? Because a lot of times your volunteers, they may not even know that their company has a donor program, right? But every single city that we operated in, I had a list. I said, who are the top 100 companies that donate to health and wellness? That's the space that we were in. And then I asked my volunteers, what company do you work for? And guess what I did? Every single quarter, I pulled a spreadsheet and I found out which companies are matching these lists. Which companies on the volunteer side are matching the companies on the top philanthropic side. And guess what I did? I invited them to all of our different events and I sent them specific outreach. I said, did you know that your company is donating $1 million this year? Pick me. If you're looking for a one, here I am, okay? So make sure, I always say luck happens when you put yourself in a place to receive that luck. But the luck is not gonna come to you if you're not ready to hold that luck. Come on, somebody. Luck is not gonna happen if you're not in a place to hold it. So do your work in advance. Do the work that you need to do in advance, and you're gonna put yourself in a position to receive it when it comes, okay? All right, we got a few more minutes. Let's see. I'm not gonna be able to get to all these questions, but Grace, if you can take a picture of some of these questions, I can record the responses to them. And as always, I'll put them up online for all of you. I'll put them in our Facebook fam, etc. How often is too often for text to donate ask? That's a great question. Text to donate, honestly, it really is a function of what is your communication cadence with your organization at large. So one of these days, I'm gonna have to do another session on segmenting for success because I love donor segmentation. I actually think that donor segmentation is the most essential way to reach the goals that you're trying to reach, right? You cannot do one size fits all communication for your donors, right? If you were talking to your friend the same way that you were talking to your partner, it would be a problem, right? If you were talking to your parents the same way you're talking to your partner, it would be a problem, right? You need to tailor your communication to the right donor. And your donor, like Lynn Wester said last time, your donor will let you know how they want to be communicated to, right? So if they're coming to an event, if they're commenting to you on social media, if they're responding to you on social media, they're more likely to be savvy and want to get that communication via text, right? But then also look at the general ebb and flow of your donor base, right? When are they traditionally opening up emails? Make sure you get into the analytics of your email provider, right? We at Givebutter show you the open rate and close rate and the bounce rate and whatnot and Engage. But if you're not using Engage, make sure you're getting into the email analytics, right? We'll also send you the analytics of your text and see who read, who responded, etc. So I would say let the data tell you that question, okay? Let's answer one more. I'd love to share our tips example with you, but we're looking for, okay, we host an annual silent, okay. We host an annual silent auction in-person event. How can we make our annual silent auction a hybrid event? I love this question. I love this question. Okay. One thing that I will say before we sign off for today is when you are planning a virtual event or planning a hybrid event, please, 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 please make sure your virtual program has virtual programming. Let me say it again in case you didn't hear me. Make sure your virtual program has virtual programming, because you do not know how many events I have been to and they just put their phone on a tripod and say it's a hybrid event. I said, this ain't a hybrid event. It can't be hybrid if I can't hear. My ears is up into this screen trying to listen to your phone feedback. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, okay? When I hosted a hybrid event, last fall, okay? We had a live voting section. When people were going to cast their votes, the screen changed and they said, okay, hey, text XYZ number, and we sent them the link to vote at home. We had virtual panelists, and so instead of them actually trying to listen to what was happening on the stage and they couldn't hear that far, we switched the screen and they can have virtual panelists. Well, for the actual keynote sessions, we made sure that the sound system was actually plugged in. They could actually hear directly what was going on. And we posted comments on the page. One of the things that I absolutely love is that Givebutter is launching live display. So you're going to be able to actually project things directly onto the screen of people who are viewing a Givebutter event directly on the Givebutter page. So no more of you feeling like you're casting the shadows or casting the outside. You want to engage with your people. Remember, Remember, every single time you have an event, every single time you have a gathering, every single time you have a community, all of the different things that you're doing, you are telling your people how they should respond to you. You are telling your people how your community should interact with you, right? And so you want to let them know this is an inclusive space. And whether you're watching at home or you're here in person, I am just as committed, if not more so, to making sure that you have an amazing experience. Y'all with me? We got 2 minutes. Let me see if I can get a quick, fast question in there. Ooh, how do I get my nonprofit members to work together and not solely on their own wants? Ooh, that's a great question. It's about the mission. At the end of the day, if you're a mission-driven organization, then the mission should always be front and center. It should always be front. Oh, Kiana, see, let me not get sidetracked. Kiana in the house. Kiana, we love you. You're amazing. And I had to return your email. But anyway, back to what I'm saying, make sure it's about your mission, okay? This has happened so many different times. People sometimes can get, we need to do it this way. And oh no, it has to be this way. And oh no, I have this specific plan. No, at the end of the day, if we are succeeding in accomplishing our mission, then we are winning, right? If it is about eradicating poverty and we are getting closer to that, then we are winning. Right? So make sure that every single turn of the corner, every single chance you get, you're orienting your people in your mission. Y'all, we had so many questions. So I'm going to record these and I'm going to share them out. But before we go, make sure you register for our upcoming events. We have the lineup for you this year, y'all. We have such amazing lineup, and keep spreading the word. You're helping us every single day. Fill out our webinar feedback survey, and of course, join the Facebook fam, because you know that is where it's going down. Y'all, I am so grateful for you.